Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along the Spiritual Journey. So, the spiritual pop off. I am so fascinated when I see that people are shocked when spiritual people pop off. We are still human, human as human can be. Spirituality, again, just means that we are practicing and honing in on our understanding of this energy that resides inside of us and the energies that make us react and think and process and how we just present ourselves to the world. That's to me the truest definition or essence of spirituality for me. Working on myself to make sure that I am not getting the soul trapped in a human avatar remembrance so that when this body passes, this soul that was here is going to have to continue forth this energy. And I don't want it to be in a negative state of being. I want it to feel healed enough that it can be excited for its next journey, excited for its next assignment, and just move on gracefully. I have always been the type of person that I always have something to say. I always have something to say. I can easily say something to someone that would make them happy, make their feelings hurt, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We all have this power, right? But it's how we choose to utilize it. And the one thing that I've noticed when it comes to spirituality is people assume that because you're on this journey, you don't pop off. And then I've been in certain situations where people try to gaslight you, be like, I thought you were a spiritual being. I thought it was all about this. And it's like, you're correct. You thought, because I am not the one. I want everyone to be able to enjoy this journey the way I do. Like, I love it, I hate it. It's all over the place. It's literally a duality of itself. But finding myself back in the middle always brings me so much joy because it really is about that homeostasis. It really is about just keeping everything even keel, right? Because for me, if I'm overtly happy, just overly positive, I know I'm running from something. I know I'm chasing something to get away from something, and I need to slow down and appreciate the newness, but not get stuck in the past of needing to react to other people's need for reaction, right? Old me, if someone wants my reaction, they gonna get my reaction. They gonna get every part of that reaction. Because that's what they're calling, right? That's what you're doing when you're asking someone to break down every layer and barrier of protection that they've created to help themselves ascend to their highest level of being. And then you get some little weird person who wants to come and just chip, 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 chip away. Let's see if I can break them. Let's see if I can break them. It's like, you're not even making a scratch, but you're annoying. Go away. I do not need to interact with energy that loves to piss people off on purpose. I do not like interacting with energy that loves to see others sad or upset or lose. Like, it is the weirdest thing to see people who are like, why are you always wanting people to win? I'm like, why are you always wanting people to lose to prove a point that no one wins? What's the point of that? That is so cynical and boring to me. And so I do my best, and I've seen other people do their best to try to stay in their peace. I see my spiritual healers on this app, and they be letting people get to them in them comments, and they be like, let me tell you something. They are so worthy of that, right? They have the right to come back and say, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm a human. But also, part of the spiritual journey is water off a duck's back, right? Learning how to laugh it off. Because some of these times, I've had people in my comments, I don't reply. I don't give them energy. They're not going to get my energy. The only time I will reply to a comment is if it's insightful and it has meaning and context, and if it's asking a genuine question, and then I will interact with that. That's the only time you're going to break my energy, right? But other than that, I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm a laugh. If you're trying to be disrespectful, that tells me that you're capable of harming me, and I'm not going to interact with you. I'm going to walk away. Can I fight? Yes. Do I want to? No. Right? I don't understand why people don't get that concept. Everyone on some level can defend themselves. I would rather it not be to the point of one of us hurting each other just to prove a point of spiritual people have feelings. Healers have feelings. Positive people who are choosing to wake up and try their best not to be a sourpuss. Have feelings. And it doesn't make sense that because we live in a world that has created bitterness, because we create it. When we participate in it, we create it. And if we're going to keep harping on, the world is such a bad place, when will it get better? I wish I lived in a better situation. It literally takes one drop. We've been saying this since forever. This is not new information. All it takes is one drop of ink to turn all that crystal clear water dark or gray or murky looking, because concentrated energy of any sort will cancel out diluted energy. If everyone's diluted and they just are going about their lives and pretending that people don't exist and emotions don't exist, and then when they have to interact with others who aren't on that same wavelength, they feel offended. That's weird to me. You can't feel offended that someone else knows how to hold their composure to the point that they don't feel the need to break down. And if you feel the need to break people, baby, that means you need to go to therapy. Not making fun of anyone. I go to therapy. I talk to people all the time. It's a matter of, if you feel the need to go out of your way to try to break someone to see if they're real, you don't see the problem in that. So yes, if someone interacts with me and they're going to keep coming at me and coming at me and coming at me, I'm going to pop off. I'm a human. But in my spiritual element of knowing that I'm on this journey, is saying, okay, you popped off. But now let's go back and make sure we clean it up. Let's make sure we articulate why we popped off. Let's say why we got to this point and why we had to express ourselves at this level. And if that person is capable of holding space for us now, because that's what it's all about. If I can hold space for you, you got to hold space for me. And if we can come to an understanding over a disagreement, then so be it. We don't have to walk away agreeing. We just have to walk away saying, like, look, I'm not going to be disrespected. And I'm not going to tolerate this. And I'm not going to interact with this. If that's what you want, then I'm dismissing myself from your life. Deuces. If that's not what you want, I'm going to need you to stop trying to break me and go work on fixing you, okay? Because I am not going to be anyone's martyr to anything that people create. Again, I feel for any baby that can't get themselves out of a situation, that's a baby. When you are an adult and you're able to make moves and you're able to get a car, or you're able to walk down the street and walk out the door and can't nobody hold you back, I'm not taking on the responsibility of you understanding that you are responsible for you. But what I will do is hold space until you figure it out. And when you figure it out and you're capable of talking to me without trying to break me, then we're good. Okay? So remember, spirituality is not about kumbaya. It's not about trying to make every single person feel good. There are different spiritual healers who are going to have their different modalities of energies they work with. We've talked about this. There's enough people talking about it now that I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. You just have to know what energies you work with. But at the end of the day, if your energies are only here to destroy, baby, you work for an energy that I don't work with. And we ain't gonna vibe, period. If you work in the light, but you just seeing shadows right now, I got you. If you working in pure darkness, baby, you have a whole different mentor, and I'm okay with saying that, noticing that, and I am not gonna feed into that. That's why popping off for me is not about yelling at someone. Popping off is just checking you. That's it. There's many different ways of saying it. Pop off, checking, saying what you need to say, get it off your chest, say it with your chest, whatever. Standing on business, that's the new one, right? I stand on business and I just say, you can dismiss yourself or I'll dismiss mine, because what we're not going to do today is break my spirits. Okay? Love ya. Besos.